Every time I used to face a hard decision, I did the exact same thing. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone, and opened the browser. Or I asked AI to solve a problem I hadn't even clearly defined yet. I told myself I was looking for smart answers, but I wasn't. I was just running away from the quiet in my own head. If you can't sit alone in a room for 20 minutes without reaching for a distraction, you don't have a strategy. You just have a habit of escaping. And that's exactly why your best ideas end up looking average. I see this pattern every day today. We get tired, distracted, and reactive. We spend the morning reading messages. We spend the afternoon asking software what step to take next. We finish the night scrolling through random videos. We lose our edge, not because we lack information, but because we stop practicing independent thought. When I refuse to sit alone with a problem, I outsource my judgment. I ask algorithms or external opinions to make my choices. And the outcome is always the same: weak vision and average results. There was a famous study at Harvard where researchers put people in a quiet room for just 10 minutes. No phones, no books, no notes. The only object available was a button that delivered a small electric shock. The result? Most of them chose to shock themselves rather than sit alone with their own thoughts. Think about it for a second. We would literally choose physical pain over sitting quietly with our own minds. When I sit in silence, my mind turns on its deepest layers. At first, it feels like pure static. Worries, doubts, and unfinished tasks all surface at once. It feels uncomfortable. But if I run away in that moment, I kill my best ideas before they ever form. Our brains naturally want to avoid effort. Deep independent thinking burns massive amounts of energy. Scrolling or reading pre made answers is cheap and easy. So my brain tries to trick me into taking the path of least resistance every single day. To keep my edge, I had to separate my workflow into two strict steps. First is gathering data. This is where I use AI, books, and expert input to collect facts. Second is independent judgment. This is where I close the laptop, turn off the Wi Fi, and make the actual call by myself. The moment I let a machine or a committee handle the second step, my leadership becomes weak. Last year, I had to learn how to disappear for short blocks of time. I was just discovering NI, and it turned out very quickly that whenever a complex choice came up, my first move was to open a new prompt. It felt productive, but after a while, I noticed a pattern. My output felt flat. It lacked conviction. Everything changed when I set a firm boundary. External tools are only allowed to bring raw information to my table. The final synthesis happens in silence. Here is the exact routine I use now. I give myself 30 minutes to gather input. I pull data, read notes, and test angles. Then I stop. I shut down the screens, grab a simple notebook, and sit alone for 20 minutes. I filter the data through my own experience, my values, and my real goals. I cut out 80% of what feels generic and write down my decision in one clear sentence. This work isn't flashy, it's quiet, slow, and boring. But building mental capacity is just like lifting weights. That uncomfortable tension you feel in the first 5 minutes of silence, that's just your brain building focus strength. Top performers don't rely on magic shortcuts. They master simple, repetitive routines. They sit with the friction until the answer becomes obvious. Real clarity doesn't come from new tools. It comes from getting comfortable with quiet discipline. You don't need a mountain cabin to reset your focus. You just need 15 minutes today. Close your browser and put your phone away. Sit with the blank page and face the decision you've been putting off. Reclaim your focus, make the call, and execute it. Oh, and by the way, I left the prompt that you can use to stress test your strategic decisions in the description below. I see you in the next one. Take care.